this station, you will find content about park travel as well as living a healthy lifestyle. If you're interested in those sorts of things, I would invite you to subscribe. If you like what you see here, make sure to share it with a friend of yours. My name is Kay, and this is the Healthy Lifestyle Show. On this show, I want to offer you encouragement to live the life you love. Today is Thriving Thursday. Thriving Thursday is about you thriving. I'm not a lifestyle coach, nor do I have any training to be one. I'm just an average 40-something who cares about people. I know that people need to have a great team to help them thrive. Doing it alone is called surviving, and I want you to thrive. Our show today is brought to you by our store, and you can find our wonderful park photography and wildlife photography at happytrailshiking.com/store. I have a very special guest for you today, John from the History Buff. The About section of his channel says, "Do you love history as much as I do? This channel is about history and history alone. It doesn't have to be boring. In fact, most of it is very exciting. This is my passion and this is my love. Follow along and learn with me." Welcome, John. It is great to have you. Thanks for coming.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I was just practicing.
Practicing?
Yep. Just getting ready to win.
Winning at what?
Winning at life, Kay.
Nice. Live the life you love, John.
Doing the best I can. And you're doing a great job yourself.
Well, thank you so much. I'm enjoying getting to interview awesome people like you every day here on the Healthy Lifestyle Show. So I know that the folks in the chat, which this is a premiere, but that they may have questions, and hopefully they will ask those questions in chat. And if they are watching the replay, hopefully they'll ask them in the comments below, and we'll get to those soon. I have some questions for you. I know you from a different channel. And that channel is Inspired John.
Oh, I thought it was the other one. Good.
Oh, phew. Good.
Please continue with the interview.
One. Yes. No. So I met you as Inspired John, and now I know you as John the History Buff. So can you tell me where Inspired John came from, and what was the impetus to have you start that channel?
Okay. Inspired John came from selling a company and being bored and going into situational depression. And trying to work my way out of it by setting goals for myself, bringing myself back to reality, trying to lose the agoraphobia and, all the things that came with being at home for like 3 or 4 months, and all of a sudden trying to figure out, well, how do I achieve these goals? If I set them for myself. I used to be able to do it, 4 or 5 months ago. And one of the things I said was, I'm going to go and do something different each day or each week. And one of the goals was get myself out there more and start talking more. So Inspired John came about because I wanted to find inspiration, and hopefully I could be inspiring in whatever I found. That was it, plain and simple.
Okay, well, that is plain and simple, and I like that. So you worked really hard in the last year or so. I mean, I met you a little over a year ago at this point, and you got monetized, and you got all these subscribers, and you get great people in your live shows and all this stuff. So why the new channel that has only a few subscribers? And what's the driving force for the History Buff?
I'm glad you asked that, Kay.
Thanks.
The honest truth is, when I started, I had no idea what I was doing. I wanted to be inspired. I wanted to pass on inspiration, and that was it. That was it. I didn't have a clue. I never followed any rules. I mean, now there are all these rules that you follow and you grow your niche and all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, I got monetized. I mean, it was just through time. And my audience has turned over many times. I've done everything from history to the craziest things like defend your gender, that was nuts. But fun time. Yeah, I mean, we were having a great time on the channel, and that's what it is. It's a variety channel, and I always will enjoy that. It's a great way to let off steam in sometimes an appropriate way, hopefully most of the time.
When
But,
I came to visit, it was always appropriate.
well, except for that one time. But yes, thank you.
Yeah, well, I wasn't there then. I deleted myself.
I deleted the video too. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But at some point, when you do a variety channel, the thing that rises to the top is your passion, and you can't fit your passion in there. And it's very hard to pass on your passion in a variety channel. And I finally sat here, and I was, doing YouTube, and I was doing a bunch of other things. And I would make these videos that I liked and edit them. And before I knew it, I had about 7 or 8 videos waiting for me, not knowing what to do. And I wasn't sure about starting a particular channel on it. And I started meeting with the Creator Spotlight Show a little bit, and we decided to run for president, first of all, which was,
yes.
yeah. Do you want me to stop there, or?
No, keep going. That's fine.
Well, I mean, the idea behind that was, once you've done almost anything wacky, you really can't stoop lower. So why not run for president, right? So, we did that. Well, I'm just saying. So, I mean, we tried that until it got to the point where, okay, now you got to put your social security number in, and and go to the SEC. Yeah, it became really real. And I was like, well, with 50 subscribers, and
this hasn't taken off so much. Yeah, makes sense.
It was fun though, I have to admit. I mean, I have a lot that I could say about it, but I will say that most of the people who were on there were very respectful and open to the idea of trying to do something on YouTube, and Mike uses it for his show sometimes.
Well, and the neat part about John 2020 was that you got to explore some of those topics that go right into the history buff and the history of US, and you got to explore a bunch of those things, and that was really neat, I guess. And so I'm glad that you did that, because it was a safe place to go and listen to other people's ideas about politics. And I hate politics. Well, I'm just I'm scared of them. Let's put it that way. I'm scared of it because I don't know enough, I guess.
No, it's a violent and verbally sometimes abusive segment to get into. Let's face it, everybody's got their, it's my way of thinking, not your, that kind of thing.
Right.
So it's a tough time to be into politics.
Sure. Well, and so you took that John 2020.
Yep.
And you changed it, and it's now started on the history buff, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've known you for a really long time. Well, really long time, meaning a year. I've talked to you, and we've talked about your love of history and things like that. And you did the This Day in History on Inspired John channel.
True.
So I know you were frustrated by those. Can you talk about your frustration with the live shows and the This Day in History live shows? And then you did a couple edited ones, but the This Day in History live shows, can you tell me about your frustration with that?
Well, the frustration came out with the monetization process. Look, if anyone's monetized and they're watching, when you become monetized, you have to follow the rules. You've basically signed on the dotted line, and that means you can't really talk about things that are controversial. And most of history is nothing but controversy. So you either make that decision where you say, well, I'm going to keep going as a monetized channel, and you can keep doing that. But I decided I'm going to make this particular channel. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to follow my passion. And sort of a damn the torpedoes sort of, there's a history thing for you. Damn the torpedoes, and I just said, this is what I'm going to do. And if the word comes up that, is unpopular, I don't have to worry about being demonetized. I know that what I'm doing is from the heart, and I can look back on it and say, well, here's a great contribution that I made, and hopefully it's evergreen kind of stuff.
Sure, that makes sense. So the History Buff channel, what sorts of things, like, because you did This Day in History. We found everything that happened on, October 17th.
Right.
And so what sort of content are you going to be showing us on the History Buff? I know there's a couple of videos out there, and the link is in the description for those folks who are not yet subscribed. But so what sort of content can they expect when they head over there?
Well, I would say if anyone has a fundamental understanding of history, you're going to find oddities in history. You're going to find things that at least I find interesting. And anybody can put in the comments, or get a hold of me and say, maybe you ought to try this one. I just finished one here called Task Force Bomb, which is it's a really narcissistic thing that George Patton did, but you'll find out about it, coming up. And, we're going to drop these things I'm going to drop these things every Saturday. And, I look forward to the sort of the core group of people that I guess like me, for at least me, and I like them for them, to say, hey, maybe you might want to change this around or do this or do that. I love hearing things like that, but I'm going for my niche.
Got it. Yeah. So they're going to be shorter videos. You said no live streams.
None planned that I know of.
Right yet. So that's new and interesting, because I met you on a live stream.
Yep.
And continued going to live streams with you and things like that. And I was never necessarily going because I needed more subscribers. I showed up for the first one because it was a recommendation from another friend of mine. And then I was like, this guy's actually talking about stuff. That's cool. And I could tell you were passionate about it, but that you felt the need to talk to the other people that were there as well. So that was fun. And it's all part of live streaming. It's all part of, getting yourself out there. And I loved that. But so to see you do edited content that doesn't have the jokes or, is the dad stuff or that kind of thing will be different, but still exciting. So,
and that stuff, if I may just say, that stuff will still be on my regular channel. Some of the I don't want to say the stupid stuff, but on Inspired John, we'll always be joking. We'll always have a good time. But just like everybody else, we all have a side of things that we're passionate about.
Sure.
And that's how we all sort of thrive. That's how we all, keep things going forward. And
right. Thanks for putting those keywords in there. I appreciate that.
Like
that. Very nice. Kind of. That's why I started doing the healthy lifestyle stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the topics of motivation. I love travel. I love my workouts. I think people are wonderful, and I want to see them be successful. And we all love food, yes. So that's kind of why we have That's kind of why we have our the lineup that we do of shows, But I also love my hiking stuff and my park travel and all that. So it's. These are hard.
Yeah, they are, absolutely.
And I've chosen a variety channel in just a little different way, I think, than some varieties are.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got a great piece of advice, and I don't follow everybody's advice. This wasn't from Yankee, Yankee and I explore with stuff, which is where John comes from. We try things. It's just what we do, and never going to change that about the channel. We always want to move forward and try things. But this particular piece of advice I got from Mike Van Duzy, that's the Creator Spotlight Show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was joining Facebook groups that are in your niche. And I thought that was pretty neat. I got involved with some of them, and they didn't have any guidelines about dropping videos. So I started chatting in a couple of them. And there are a couple that are really pegged, for ones that I'm going to be saying, hey, it doesn't say anything in the about section of this group, but I hope I'm allowed to drop a video. It's relevant. Let me know if I shouldn't do this, and I've dropped the video. It's kind of a tactic, but I'm going to be doing that in a couple different groups. And so I'm reaching out of the YouTube world, and I'm trying different ways to market the whole thing.
Sure. And yeah, I'm a part of several national park groups and outdoor groups and things like that. So I totally support doing that. And it's good to be part of subreddits, and Twitter doesn't really have anything that I've found other than using those hashtags and joining in those niche chats. You know, like I do park chat on Wednesday nights for the national parks, and they have a set night a week that we use the hashtag park chat. And so that's something that I've done to kind of find my niche. I found the Midwest Travel Network through Midwest Monday chat, which is now funny enough, less than a year later, I'm hosting Midwest Monday chat. So it's, you know, one of those things that if you explore outside of this one social media that you're dealing with, then you'll find all sorts of other things that are out there. And I maybe should try for some healthy lifestyle kind of things, but I haven't.
I think that'd be wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
So
any other?
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I was going to go for it.
So, what would you say to someone who feels like they've been doing stuff? I've built this over here. I kind of like it, and it's me, or it's a part of me, but it's not what I'm passionate about. Would you say, hey, this is good for everybody? Everybody should just build something new out of what their passion is.
No.
Oh
my goodness. It's a lot of work. First of all, 2 channels is insane. It really is. You know, even if both channels look like a car crash, they're insane to keep up with, because you're constantly switching accounts and posting the wrong thing, and it's terrible. But I mean, if the question is specifically, well, can I ask? Can you clarify the question?
So, if someone like, okay, I'm a teacher and I enjoy teaching, but you know, I really want to do something else, just a little bit different. I need to quit my job and do something else different. Okay. Or, you know, like you did, you said, okay, I've got this variety channel and it's great, but it's not exactly what I want to be doing. There's extra stuff here that I just don't want to focus all my time on. I'm not as passionate about this as I am about history. So you're moving and you're saying, okay, I'm going to take history and make it my passion. Mm-hmm. Would you recommend that for others, or would you say something else?
You know, that is each person's individual prerogative. There are some people that make that to make a decision, you know, that I might think is very easy. You know, like it's a change. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try it, and if it doesn't work, I'll go back. Mm-hmm. Some people may take that extremely serious. So, I mean, dispensing advice is for me, you know, be careful.
Very personal.
Yeah. And you talk to like someone like Yankee, the guy, you know, you don't even have to ask. He'll give you everything, you know, whether you ask for it or not.
Right.
Which I love about him.
Sure.
Because he doesn't hold back then. But on the other hand, you know, be careful who you give the advice to, certainly. But I looked at it like this. My journey is unique. Kay, your journey is unique. And we all learned by making mistakes. We've all been there. I mean, I remember having conversations with you where you're like, oh, what am I, you know, and I'm sitting there feeling the same way, you know, some days. And honestly, I just don't have a problem with change. I just don't mind trying new things.
See, and in my mind, change is hard. So, I started a second YouTube channel for the healthy stuff.
Yes.
I started Healthy Trails 199. You won't find it anywhere anymore. That content's still somewhere, but you won't find that channel anymore. We've changed the name. We still own that channel. But we changed the name of it. So because I couldn't keep up with both. I couldn't do all my hiking content, put out 2 or 3 videos a week, and then put out 2 or 3 videos a week on Healthy Trails 199 too. And it just, they were niched. This was going to be park travel and hiking, and this one's going to be health.
Right.
I just couldn't do it. And so, I'm doing 2 different things in order to follow my passion. And my passion's a little different. Your passion is history, and that's what you want to cover those things. You want to cover the task force bomb, and tell us all about these unique and quirky parts of history, which is really cool.
Well, I'd like to do it at least in a more exciting way than, maybe your high school gym teacher who was forced to teach history to you, did. That's the goal. I'm hoping to get some interesting pictures in there. I'd like to keep it brief, to the point, succinct.
Sure.
And because that's the bottom line. A vlog can't, for at least for my understanding, my little tiny brain, it's got to be short. It's got to be interesting. So I'm trying. I don't want to do more than 7 minutes. I'd love someone to click on it, go make some food, and listen to it and go, I never knew that. Okay, what's next? That kind of thing.
Sure.
And I'm just hoping to keep it interesting. That's all I'm trying to do, is bring some energy to history, tell you something you never knew, and pass it on. And we did that in this day in history. This is just a more serious, on the rails, not off the rails, history. And, the more history the more you'll understand about what's going on in the world currently.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So would you say that the history buff is a keep it to the list, John?
Yeah.
Kind of channel?
Yes, we can all thank Uncle Al for that. That's it.
That's funny. Well, okay. I think that I'm thrilled that you're following your passion. I think that everyone should find a way to follow something that they're passionate about, be that hiking, be that hanging out with their family and taking their family on new adventures, be that, being the best librarian they can be, or whatever. I think that everybody should have the opportunity to follow their passion. I think in this day and time, YouTube allows us to be able to do that, even if we can't do it as a full-time job. You
look at people can either have it as a job or a hobby. I mean, your channel is your own. So whether you want to take it to the limit and make it the job and do the work, that is awesome. There are some people that can do it just like that.
Sure.
And they just blow up and you go, gosh, how do they do that thing? But on the other hand, you do. You go like, I didn't show any, but the whole point is that I personally need 2 outlets. I need a goofy outlet, a fun outlet, and there are people who know me for that. But then I want to see if I can actually do a good outlet, which I'm finally ready for, and I've learned what not to do, so I only have the right direction to go in, I think.
Well, I think that you've learned some of what to do through the goofy channel, as you say, through your variety channel, because you have gained quite a community engagement, and you do have lots of people who are interested in seeing what you have to say, even if it is goofy. But the folks that came to your 9/11 blog, that was totally serious. They knew it was serious when they walked in the room, when they clicked on the button. They weren't like, oh, this is going to be a goofy, funny one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So you've engaged in and really made a relationship with your audience. And I think that that's really something that you've learned through that blog channel.
I would agree. The hardest part, if anyone has a variety channel out there, which is the toughest thing in the world to do, I think, because you don't have a niche. But if you've got awesome subscribers and viewers, not necessarily subscribers, they know if you've done enough content, they know when I don't need to go see this, it's going to be dumb, or, oh, this is a serious thing he put out, let's go. So what you're doing is you're playing to all points of your personality. And honestly, that's what I'm going for. So if I'm in a particular mood where I feel extremely serious or passionate about something like the particular video you referenced, you know, I'm going to have at it in a very serious way. And, you know, that's the kind of stuff you're going to find. Yeah.
So I guess my last question for you today is, are we going to see vlog style on the History Buff, or is it going to be more edited behind the camera pictures and storytelling from behind the camera? Or do you not know yet?
No, I know exactly what it is. I'm trying to figure out. It's not vlog style. I'm not going. This isn't like a, you know, go outside and, if you know, find your outdoor niche or whatever. This is here in the studio, which I've been working on, and
Okay.
you know, as the videos come along, they're getting better and better. But it is me literally telling you a story the best way that I can, and it kind of gets better and better, I think, at least from my point of view, because the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. And I'll be adding some pictures that are extremely relevant to the topic going on, to sort of to keep everybody on board. And it really is evergreen material. It's stuff that I know I say evergreen like everyone knows what it means, but it's stuff that's going to be valid no matter what. YouTube has changed its policy, so I'm glad that it's not going on my particular channel, because they'll probably just, you know, they would look at it and go, well, that's it, you're out of the partner program. So it's going to be a channel, you know, where it's going to be, you know, there's a set way of doing it. It's every Saturday. It's being uploaded. I think I have 7 now that are ready to go. By the end of today, it'll be 7. And you know, I'm going to bring you everything from, you know, stuff that has happened in Europe to I love military history, but you know, it'd be some Civil War things. It would be you know, World War II. It would be social history. It would be just, you know, all interesting things. At least I find interesting, and I hope that you guys find it interesting too. Because if that's the case, and I do everything else right, then other people will find it as well. And then you guys can say, I remember when he only had 53 subscribers.
Of course we do. That's awesome. Well, John, thank you so much for being here with me today, and good luck
Honored.
following your passion on the History Buff. Is there anything else you would like to add for our Thriving Thursday guests before we let them go?
Boy, you know, if you're ready to do something, and you're really feeling it, do the best that you can. I've done a lot of I don't know, I want to say half butt things, but I've done half baked. There you go, half baked.
Yes.
Yeah, and I haven't followed through with it. This particular one, I'm trying to do more full force. I am not a detailed person. I am in the videos, but when it comes to the background stuff, I'm working the best that I can at it, and I'd like to get as much going for it. And I will say that if you do have your niche out there, or you do have any questions, there's so many great people in the community to ask. You don't have to listen to everybody's exact point of view. You take everything you want, you could leave the rest. And you know, when you're ready to try a channel that you really want to do, or get into something that you really want to do, use all that information that you have at hand, and do the best that you can with it. And you've got a great supportive community. I know, because half of my community is here with you.
Yes, we're all a very supportive community around here. So thank you again for being here with me. And if you will hold on for a second, I'm going to close out the show.
You got it, Kate. Thank you for having me on, by the way.
All right, guys. Thank you for being here with us today. And I hope that you've enjoyed our interview. There are 3 things that I need you to do for me today. One is, if you enjoyed this content, please share it with someone else that you think would enjoy learning about the History Buff and following their passion, as well as come back and leave a comment down below. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing something right and that you're enjoying the content. Number 2, please take a look at the description and go over. And if you have not subscribed to the History Buff, please do that and let them know that you came from Happy Trails Hiking. As well as number 3, go out and live the life you love today, guys. And remember, you are not replaceable. Thanks for joining me today.